I can get beyond that because I want to be here for you and you're what's important. And Kaylin is like, yeah, but any other woman who ever showed you any kind of affection, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck
Now, granted,
that person.
I understand Denna and the situation with that is not the same thing. You know, she kidnapped Richard and tortured him and, like, forced him. And they were kind of a thing before that, but not officially. So I get it, but also, like, just chill out. He's gonna die. So just take a breath. Denna tells Kaylin that somebody has to take the mark from Richard, and Kaylin's like, all right, I'll do it. Let me fucking die. Denna tells her, nope, that's not gonna happen. We need to have a little chit-chat before we go any farther with this plan, okay?
Yeah, why don't you just cool your boots, all right? I just got here. Let me tell you some stuff, please.
She says to know Richard is to know Kaylin, and that he called her name 1,000,000 times while he was being tortured by her.
Yeah, because up until now, they haven't, like, obviously had an introduction. She's like, you're Kaylin, right?
Right. But I thought it was a cute little, like, to know Richard is to know Kaylin. I know it's not supposed to be a cute moment, I don't think, but, aw.
No, but I mean, you would think that would alleviate Kaylin some. Because she's up in arms because this person had Richard. But Richard was talking about her the whole time. If not talking about her the whole time, crying her name because that's who he wanted instead of his fucking mom, which grown men scream out for their moms in war all the time. Right. He's calling for Kaylin because she's that important.
Right. Kaylin doesn't see that. She's just like, keep talking.
Right.
And she does. Denna tells her that in order to help Richard, she has to hurt him. The thing that we've been saying for a while now is that Richard is a little bit fucking crazy from everything that happened. He needs to get some help, or at the very least, take a nap. Kaylin is like, nope, he doesn't need any fucking help. He's totally fine. Don't worry about Richard. I got him. He's fine. He's not crazy. He's fine. Which is the worst way to handle somebody that you care about who may be going through some shit.
Well, I mean, he was just burned by a spirit from the underworld saying that they're going to tear the veil and then let the devil into the world of life. So maybe he does need some help. Maybe, just maybe, at least hear this person out who came out of nowhere in your time of need to see what it is they have to say before just denying them.
Well, I also feel like, I don't know, it's a very large disservice to Richard for her to not recognize that he went through some shit. Like, they know each other for, 2 months now? And one of those months, he was gone, being tortured, and she just completely dismisses that is a part of his life, and that fucked him up. I don't like that.
Yeah, well, it's probably just easier for her to forget because she wants Richard to be hers and only hers, which is not unheard of.
Right, okay, yeah.
You know, but if she is pulling the PG card, then no, she's not going to be a fan of these people.
Denna tells Kaylin she has no fucking idea what Richard's been through. Like, literally none. She keeps telling her how she used Kaylin and his love for her and the magic against Richard, and that's why he hates it so much. Kaylin's the only reason that any of the shit she did to him was possible. Like, he wouldn't have made it through any of that if it wasn't for Kaylin, and she gave him motivation to make it through that.
Right. If he didn't have something so strong to, hold on to while that was happening to him, he probably wouldn't have survived.
Right. But even when Kaylin is, really not enjoying the conversation they're having anymore, Denna doesn't let up on the details. She just keeps, ramming the point home. No, you don't fucking get it. He was having a rough time.
Yeah, as if, Kaylin is more worried about Richard enjoying his time over there with her. She did horrible, horrible things to him, and then she fucked him. Well, as it turns out, that's not much better than any of the other things that she was doing to him. It's not like Richard only enjoyed that part of the day, and then the rest of it was awful. No, he didn't enjoy any of it, including fucking her. It was all a giant punishment.
Right, when Denna describes the fucking that happened, Kaylin actually ends up throwing up.
Yeah.
And I I feel like part of that was just hearing about Richard with some other girl, right?
I mean, I think so. As far as we know, Kaylin is a virgin, has never lain with a man, right? Richard may not be.
Yeah, we never knew if he was or not before.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't know.
But also, I mean, I don't think they were conventionally fucking. Like, especially the first time that they mated, she put the Aegil in some weird places.
Yeah, yes, she did.
I know that they made love before he left, at least one time.
Yeah.
Like, regular sex. But I guess that was my thing. I don't know if the vomiting was fully just, like, picturing Richard with somebody else, or if it was that, but also, like, her describing some real fucked up stuff.
Yeah, I think it was her describing that, plus the fact that Richard and her had sex. I think all of it together. The thought of Richard not only having relations with another person, but doing some straight up devious ass shit that you probably shouldn't do.
Yeah.
All of that combined, you know, all five senses, and just overloaded her. She was overwhelmed, and so she threw up. Yeah, exactly.
Well, she's obviously a little upset, and she asks how many times that happened. And Denna's like, I don't know, a fucking lot?
Like, literally all the time. Does that make you feel better?
More than any mate ever. Like, he lasted longer than anybody ever has.
Once
so
before breakfast.
It doesn't matter.
A couple times after lunch.
Maybe drop it.
Well, you gotta have dessert. And a late night snack.
Let it go, Kaylin.
Then, you know, midnight snack.
Kaylin again denies that this would mess a person up. She's like, nope, he's totally great. Yep. Meh.
Everything is fine with the room on fire.
Yeah.
Just, it's okay.
This is fine.
Torture. Actual no shit torture.
Denna insists even if he locked part of himself away, there is a chunk of his brain, his mind, his inner self that is damaged. There's nothing Kaylin can explain away about this. He got messed up, okay?
So bad that he developed a southern accent? Or
Yeah.
I heard that change. He got messed up. Okay?
Messed up. I don't know. I can't do accents very well, so it's probably not any accent at all. It's just me.
If you're from the South and we just slaughtered your accent, we apologize. We mean no harm by it.
Nope. Do not.
I can't do it either, so don't worry.
Kaylin asks how Denna could do this, and she's like, well, how could you do the thing to Brophy that you did? Oh, and how about the ball thing with Demon? Yeah, I know about that too.
Yeah, you've done some pretty awful shit too. And Kaylin has this thought where she's like, yeah, but it felt good to do that to Demon because Demon was a monstrous piece of shit.
That sweet, sweet memory of those balls being eaten.
Somebody else is viewing this as you doing this horrible, awful thing, and you view it differently. Like, no, that was the right thing to do, which has been a theme in both of these books so far. The most dangerous people, the people most willing to go as far as needed and then beyond, are people who believe they're doing the right thing.
Well, and I've always kind of thought that. I don't think that most people do things that they don't think are right, even if it's the wrong thing. Like, 90% of people are not sociopaths and are not like, this is fucked up, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, this is obviously wrong. Let's do this some more.
Most people think it's either the best choice or the only choice when they make bad choices.
Yeah, like, okay, so just for clarification, murderers who kill for quote-unquote mercy.
Yeah.
I'm not murdering you, I'm setting you free.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And there's a small amount of people who go the other way, but, I mean, that's not most.
True.
But despite the fact that Denna was doing her job when she did most of the shitty stuff that she did, Kaylin can't bring herself to forgive her. And Denna's like, cool, I don't need your fucking forgiveness. I didn't ask for it.
I'm already dead, so really doesn't make much of a difference, turns out.
I'm not going to be showing up at your guys' pool parties,
Yeah.
okay? It's not a big deal.
Bet my shoulder's colder. Boom.
I could be a harder bitch. Let's not have this dance.
Right.
All Denna wants is a promise to make Richard put the collar on, because the only reason he's going to do it is for Kaylin. Kaylin knows that Denna's right, but she's scared of Richard hating her and thinking that she wants him to be hurt. Like, he's not going to see the truth of the matter.
Right. Kaylin is told that she might have to act like Denna and bring him back to his crazy place. He might not love her anymore, but he will be alive. Which, I don't really know if that's the best way to go about things. I don't think dealing more potentially psychological damage to Richard is the way to get him out of the funk.
No, I don't think it is, especially with the abrupt character change that it would be on Kaylin's part.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it just doesn't seem like a great thing to push a crazy person who's already on the edge and be like, the one thing that you care about, yeah, it's not gonna be there for you anymore.
Well, I know that this brand that he has on his chest came from Dark and Raw, which came from the underworld, so there's magical implications about that, and I'm not trying to challenge any of that, or I'm not trying to pretend like it doesn't matter, but let's consider this. He has a giant burn on his chest. If you went to the hospital with a giant burn on your chest and they're like, yeah, we'll treat you right now, come over here into this room, close the door, turned around, and then started verbally abusing you, that would not help.
No, not really.
Unless they're just like, suck it up, you baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, I guess it doesn't hurt as bad anymore.
Yeah, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
We need better insurance if this is all we can get.
Well, Zed comes up. Kaylin's like, hey, is this an option? Can I just do this fucking thing that we've been planning on doing? And Denna's like, I don't know. But the sisters will for sure. Which I think is a weird thing. That the underworld has, like, selective information. Either way, Richard needs to live to close the veil. If the sisters come before they get to Zed, Kaylin needs to force him to put the collar on. Despite whatever else the fuck is going on, she has to lock that shit in.
Yeah, the one thing he keeps repeating to everybody he is not going to do, now Kaylin has been tasked with getting him to do that very thing. So I'm sure that'll be just a walk in the park. Kaylin asks again about the mark Darkin left on Richard, and Denna says she will take it if she knows Richard will have a chance. Denna is willing to do all of this because everything Richard did for her, he released her from her life of just madness, pain and madness and pain and madness, and then finally death. Richard broke that cycle, and she is literally forever indebted to him. Literally, because, she's dead. So.
Well, also, I think this gives her an excuse to explain to Kaylin why the Aegil is being worn by Richard and why Kaylin probably won't ever give him shit about that again.
Yeah, after hearing what she heard about what happened to him, you would think she would have some more respect, or at least a lasting imprint on what actually happened to him over there. And so if he felt that hanging on to that Aegil is the best way for him to deal with that, then she should let him do that.
It's not just a memento of, like, an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, it's so much more than that.
Kaylin has a thought about Richard looking savage as he lays there, but how he's the most gentle person she's ever known. And as I heard that part of this chapter, I was just like, but actually, no, he's not.
No. Richard and gentle are two words that really don't go together.
He can be, like, a sweet, kind guy, but, like, he's literally shoved her during conversations.
Right.
For things that she didn't even do wrong.
Don't forget about literally killed hundreds of people.
Yeah. He's not the most gentle person in the world.
No.
I'm sorry.
Extremely violent, as it turns out.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
No.
I like him.
Good guy. He's a great dude.
Great
dude.
Yeah.
I heard he murdered like 150 people.
But you know, the reasons.
Super nice, though. Super
He's
nice.
Great. Gentle? I heard that and I had to pause and I was like, no, Terry.
But he's not, though.
No, Kaylin.
Literally the most violent person ever.
Calm the fuck down. But Kaylin promises she will make him put the collar on no matter what it takes. Denna puts her hand out and they make an oath between the living and the dead.
Hold on a second. Didn't we have a conversation